I was sponsored by Mongoose. I was sponsored by the local, like, I was, you know, contractually obligated to wear logos. Like, I had somebody pick me up, bring me to race it. Like, it was real.
How old were you?
It was probably between 8 and 11.
You got photos?
Yeah.
Well, those are photos. That's no photos or videos. Just let's be clear on that.
I still got my gear.
Here's my issue. I could bring.
This is a true story.
We could bring.
Big Apple national champ too. I think I still have the trophy.
What?
Yeah, for real.
We could bring Obama on the show, President Obama, and he'd find a way to somehow, like, all of a sudden you're a pro BMX rider because we have Nigel on the show.
These are facts. We're talking about sponsorship. I'm just telling you who I was first sponsored by. What's up, everybody? We're back for RWTW TV, episode 9, snowy Friday here in New York. What's good, brother?
What's good? We're back.
Hat is back, man. It went away.
You said the people requested it.
People wanted it. They love it. Hopefully it's the last time.
When you say people, your mom's the only person that hits us on our social media asking for the hat. Facts.
Nah, everybody loves it. Go back and check.
Okay. Just so it's tournament time.
March
Just
Madness,
so people know, and we keep looking away. We actually have the games going on right now, and right now West Virginia's up. So by the time you're watching
this, you can't see it, but our media center, we have a media center here with multiple games.
And by media center, we mean his laptop.
Multiple games going. But we're here, man.
Yeah, so back from Miami, obviously, right? The last 2 episodes were in Miami. It was great to be in Miami. It's always nice, great weather and all that. But it feels good to be back home in you know, New York, the Mecca, the studio. And we have a special guest today, man. So, you know.
Special guest, Nigel Sylvester.
Nigel.
Yo.
What's good,
brother?
Listen,
man. Thank you for coming.
Give that man his props. Pro BMX rider, Nigel
me, man.
Sylvester.
Professional.
Listen, man, dress that man properly, man. Nigel, what's good?
Ooh. Snowy Friday, bro.
I can't. You know. We had a fashion emergency again. Nigel, Justin, and myself all showed up with black hoodies on. Of course, Nigel and I immediately recognized, you know, this.
I don't agree with the outfit.
Well, that's what
shows unity.
Well, that's where I'm going with it. Nigel and I knew that wasn't an option, so Nigel threw a jacket on. I went and found this I had in my office. You're like, nah, let's ride this thing out.
Here's what really happened.
Talk to me.
I mean, I have the top of the line Tech Pack fleece on.
Waterproof?
Your shit was like the 8, you know, I mean, it was levels.
Takedown version?
Yeah, I mean, you knew.
So how much is yours? Ballpark? What's
like
your retail? Like two what?
Yeah. Knocking on
200?
Yeah, the whole suit or just the top?
Oh, you got the whole suit on. Yeah. Just the top. How much is this? Ballpark?
It's knocking on 2.
Knocking on 2. How much was mine, the one I had on?
Probably like 85. Which is fine. It's cool. There's moments for that.
There's levels?
Not when you're sitting next to me, you know.
Okay. Nah, this is what I gotta deal with every week, man.
Yeah.
You know, please, man. It's not as easy as it looks.
This is awesome, man. I like this.
So ask the man a question, man.
Listen, man, you're here on the show. You just dropped a new video.
Yeah, man.
Tell us about it.
Video's called No Chill, and it's pretty much started off in New York, riding in the snow, and made my way to Miami, and just wild out. You know, like pretty much I named it No Chill. I'm not chilling in Miami. I'm doing just all types of crazy things, and not wanting to chill in New York when it's cold. Put it out. We did it on Sony Action Cam.
Okay.
Was the whole?
I was just gonna say, so the whole thing shot on a Sony Action Cam.
Yeah, the whole thing is shot on Sony Action Cam. They have a new 4K Action Cam that shoots like super high quality.
It's beautiful.
Man, it's awesome. It's so surprising that this little camera can shoot on like such a level, you know. But it's awesome.
The video is fresh. Everybody's got to check it out. Let me ask you about that process for you, right? Because you put out a lot of videos, you know, varying in kind of, you know, in kind of creative approach. But for you, when you do a video like that, what's the creative process for you? Are you going to your partners and pitching an idea? Are you guys kind of, is it a, you know, a collaboration? Do they come to you? Like, how do these things usually start for you?
Pretty much they come to me and say, listen, we need to shoot a video. Like, what do you want to do? And I go back and sit down for 2 or 3 days and brainstorm, well, what do I want to get across in this project? And that's how it pretty much works. But it's awesome because like, they give me that creative freedom to truly express myself, which is awesome. It's a great opportunity.
What was your favorite part of the Miami shoot?
The favorite part of the shoot was whipping around in that R8, to tell you the truth.
R8 is a beast.
That car's a beast, man. Like having my bike in that car, just like people are just bugging, like, why would you ever do that? But that's shit that I want to do, like have fun.
It was amazing. That was one of my favorite parts, was seeing you kind of, you know, tearing up Collins, but your bike's like on your lap. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, just in case, you know, don't get froggy, I can meet you out there too. So
that's what it is too. Is like, I don't want people to get it twisted. Like, oh, he just wants to like drive it. All right, nah, I'm having my bike with me. Like, I don't leave home without the bike. Like, ever.
Well,
I mean,
never.
It's snowing now.
Yeah.
But the bike's in the car.
Like
outside.
if you're going on the road, if you're on the road, it's with you all the time.
Yeah, of course. Like I put it in my bike bag and I hit the streets, bro.
Speak to that. It's a cool story about how do you transport your bike? Seems like a simple thing. No one thinks about it. So you're going from here to Miami. How do you get your bike to Miami, and what's the process?
So when I travel with my bike, I put it in a golf bag. I break it down, take the handlebars off, take the forks off, and put it in a golf bag. We put it in a golf bag because airlines charge $200 each way for a bicycle, but golf clubs are free. So I'm in. Listen, chill out. I won't give too much of it away, but that's how it goes down.
Someone American right now is like, oh, okay.
Like that's what's in his bag.
A little trick for you.
That's crazy.
Nah, it's awesome. I'm like in the airport with like Jordans and sweatpants on. They're like, gonna play golf? I'm like, yeah.
How quickly now can you take a bike apart, put it together, like?
Oh man, like BMX Technology has like come so far, dude. Where like I could break my bike down and build it in 5 minutes, like
wow,
that quick. It's seriously about 3 or 4 bolts and the bike's apart.
Wow.
To get out, to put it in a bag, you know.
So great. You talked about BMX. I think great transition. Let's kind of rewind a little bit. You're from Queens, New York.
Yeah, born and bred.
Proud Queens, New Yorker.
Of course, rapping always.
When I think of Queens, I think of basketball. I think of Kenny Anderson. I think of Malloy and some of those historic programs.
Cardozo,
right? She went to Cardozo, right? Cardozo.
So rapping always.
And what was it like, young Nigel, 10 years old? Did you play ball? Was it always a love for BMX? How'd your love for BMX start in Queens, New York?
Growing up, I always played ball. I can remember playing basketball in my boy Jordan's backyard. He had like dope backyard, basketball hoop, and we played ball all day. Like it was.
There's always one kid, right? It's got like the ill basket or whatever the case
ill
is.
court. Like we had battles back there. I remember leaving back there with scars and just playing ball for hours during the summertime. But I would ride my bike to his house. So it was like the bike was always there, and I had to leave his house and ride my bike back home. So on my way back home, I'm jumping curbs and popping wheelies and whatnot, and that love just grew and grew and grew until the point where I was like, I only wanted to ride my bicycle.
Now, at that age, was there anyone you're looking up to? Like, was the pro BMX exist? Like, is there anyone to look up to? Was it even an option for you to be a pro BMXer in your mind back then?
In my mind, no. And I looked up to dudes who were like in a neighborhood, like older kids in the neighborhood who had dope bikes who were like popping wheelies. Like I didn't even know about BMX.
Wasn't an athlete or
no,
like,
there were nobody like that.
Yeah.
Like that came later on, like when I seen it on TV.
Yeah.
But they were like those neighborhood superheroes and dudes who I looked up to. Like, oh, he can wheelie 5 blocks. He could wheelie with no hands. And that was amazing to me. I was like, wow, I want to do that. You know?
It's like dunking from the free throw line.
I was like,
it's
what?
like
It was crazy for me. I'm like, wow, like that's awesome.
No doubt.
When did you? I mean, what was that point where you realized that you can make a living off this? Like what, how old are you, and what was that first moment where you're like, I can take this thing and
I had to be about 16 years old.
Okay.
And that's when I realized, like, okay, dudes are like really making money off riding bicycles. Like this is what they do every single day. I want to do that. Sure. And I dedicated my life to that.
If at 16 you could figure out that, life.
How you're gonna make a living? How you gonna get people to pay you for what you're really good at?
You're ahead of the game if at 16, man. Like I think, great question, Justin. Great transition. Sponsors.
Yeah.
Who was your first sponsor, and kind of, what was that feeling like? Like, yo, I literally get paid to do whatever.
Well, it's interesting you asked. My first sponsor, before you even go, I mean, I used to be sponsored by Mongoose. For real. You didn't know that?
Yeah. I didn't know that too.
Take this off. I'm not gonna do it.
No, I was.
Do you still have like your first bike?
Sponsored by Mongoose for what?
Yeah.
First of all, hold up. So Mongoose, the bike company, not Mongoose like.
I raced.
Pollo Loco in your neighborhood. That was.
No, I raced for real.
You raced what?
I was sponsored by Mongoose. I was sponsored by the local. Like, I was, contractually obligated to wear logos. Like I had somebody pick me up, bring me to race it. Like it was real.
How old were you?
It was probably between 8 and 11.
You got photos?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't exist. There's no photos or videos. Just let's be clear on that.
I still got my gear.
Here's my issue. I could bring.
This is a true story.
We could bring.
Big Apple national champ too. I think I still have the trophy.
What?
Yeah, for real.
We could bring Obama on the show, President Obama, and he'd find a way to somehow, all of a sudden you're a pro BMX rider because we have Nigel on the show.
These are facts. We're talking about sponsorship. I'm just telling you who I was first sponsored by. Mongoose isn't really in the game anymore. You said, at the time they were, but I had a custom bike. I had a Mini Goose. It was a custom bike.
You had a signature Just bike?
Yeah, it wasn't signature, but it wasn't many of them.
So do you see a lot of similarities between Nigel's career and your career as a pro BMX rider?
I do. I mean, we're both professionals. We've both been contractually obligated to represent certain brands and perform at a high level. Those are the similarities, and our laser focus at a young age to be the best.
Laser focus, man, it's important.
I can't. Listen, man. Speaking of focus,
please. Is my mic still on? Good. All right, cool.
Can we? Okay, you want off the show too, right? This is bullshit. Get me off the show.
Listen, talk to me about your sponsor. I know Mongoose isn't really in the game anymore.
Man. Talk about your sponsors. Yeah. Who was your first sponsor? What was that feeling like?
Like my first sponsor, I wasn't getting paid from them.
Okay. What was it? It was still product.
It was still product.
But still, how'd that?
That's big.
It was a company called Base Brooklyn, and they hooked me up with a few T-shirts. That was the first company to say, "Cool, we're gonna legit rep you."
And were you blown away by that?
I was like, "Wow, this is incredible, dude! I'm actually on the path to going where I see myself." Dude, it was some cheesy T-shirts, bro, but it was awesome.
And how old are you at this point?
At that point, I'm about 17 years old.
Okay, so you're okay, I'm on my way.
Yeah, I was like, this is awesome. Shout out to a dude named Enos, who was the owner of Base Brooklyn, and he hooked it up, bro. I had fresh T-shirts to go out and ride my bike, and then I could rep and brought me on trips and stuff.
That's dope. Cool. If you don't mind, who was the first sponsor to cut a check to be yo, you're riding for us?
Oh, so the first sponsor that I got a check from was a company called Miracle Bikes.
What was that like? What was the experience oh shit, I had?
No, that was completely surreal. It still blows my mind. You know why? Because as a child, Dave Mirra was a dude who I looked up to. Dave Mirra is the Jordan of BMX. Okay. And he was the dude that signed me and turned me professional. So the same dude I looked up to as a child, the same dude that said, cool, I'm gonna bring you this next level. And he signed me when I was 18 and I got my first check and I was just yo, this is awesome now.
That you're I made it, mama did it.
Because at that point, I'm still in college, bro. I'm living off of financial aid because I didn't have a job because I decided I'm gonna go to school and ride.
Yeah, if you go to college, you're poor, regardless. That's just what it is. We're all poor in college.
Yeah, I had a Ricky Honda Accord 2-door,
Where'd you go to school?
1999 Honda Accord.
And no one could tell you anything.
I had my bike in that joint. I had the little little MP3 player with the cord, little tape into the
doing it so big.
I was bumping
Where'd you go to school, Nigel?
I went to Farmingdale University. Okay. Those years sucked. I drove from Queens to Farmingdale every single day.
Those years sucked.
Oh, definitely. Like driving from home to school every day, which was an hour and some change in traffic on a southern state.
Okay.
That was motivation enough that when I got on my bike later that day, that I had to make sure I bust my ass to learn tricks and do what I had to do because I didn't want to sit in traffic anymore and go to school.
That's dope.
To go to that school at least,
That's dope. And how's it work for, we educate us a little bit on the BMX business. It's you're a pro BMXer, you get sponsors, and is it the brands or the sponsors telling you what they need? Is it a combination, a partnership of you saying, hey, this is kind of what I'm trying to do? And how's that work? How does the sponsorship
work? I mean, of course, when you first get sponsored, you're so excited and it's new to you. You're just, okay, whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do. As you get more familiar with the process, you're able to collaborate more. So at this point for me in the game, I'm telling my sponsors, this is what I need. They're telling me what they need, and we meet at a common ground and we figure it out. We make the best possible content or product we can to deliver that to the people.
Dope.
It's a really, really cool process for me now where I'm able to imagine something and then see it come to life. That Miami video, I imagined that and then I was able to go out and film it and now I can actually watch it and share with the people. It's incredible.
Yeah, I just watched the G-Shock commercials, really dope too.
Nah, thank you.
Super dope.
That was another one where I had that concept for a while now and I was never able to apply it to a brand until G-Shock gave us opportunities that we need you to come with some content, something that can match this Heather series that we're doing. I said, cool, I have this concept, and I was able to cast young Seven, who's a child in the video, and his mom Jazzy, and they were able to come through for me, and like we made it happen. And
yeah, really, really dope video. Yeah. Everybody's got to check it out.
So you got to check it out, and hopefully we can kind of show you a little bit of it. One thing that always blows my mind, and we've had this conversation off cameras, you ride without brakes.
Yeah, man, no brakes.
So why? First, why? Second, is that like consistent across like the sport, or what? What's the thinking behind it?
No brakes in BMX is synonymous to like all black in New York. It's one of those things where it's like, if you're a BMX rider in New York City coming up, like you have no brakes in your bike. It's just what we do. It's part of our culture out here for BMX.
So let me ask you this. So you're out riding, you're out on your bike, you're at a park, or whatever the case may be, a dope location, and just shows up with his sponsored Mongoose shirt on, right? But he's got like back brakes and front brakes, and he's wearing like elbow pads. Like, are you looking at him like this dude?
Like, if I see Just pull up like that, I'm like, he's an old school dude, so he gets away with that.
He got hand brakes.
Yeah, he gets
a tight ass Mongoose shirt with like half the stomach sticking out and shit. Like,
listen, racing attire was completely different. You know what I mean?
Racing attire. So you used to.
Yeah.
Here's a real.
Like, were you fast?
No, don't feed into this.
I was the
man.
Big Apple national champion. For real.
Oh, what champion?
Big Apple, New York.
Where did you race in New York, bro?
Yeah. I forget where that track was.
Brooklyn?
I mean, the main track I
tracks.
used to race at was Braddock Park. It was in North Bergen. It's not around anymore, but we'll pull up some clips. There's some clips on YouTube.
Walk us through, what was the process for you like on race day? What was that like for you?
Race day, I'd get up, I'd eat a nice healthy breakfast.
What was that consist of?
Usually at that point, Cheerios, a banana, a little glass of OJ.
Okay, go ahead.
The van would come pick me up. I'd already have my bike in it, all my
when you
stuff.
When you say the van, what do you
Uber?
Huh?
Was it Uber?
No, it was a cargo van, had all my stuff in there.
Your sponsor.
I hopped in, they took me to the park. I got busy.
The park or the track?
The track.
Oh, okay.
The track.
All right,
the track was at a bigger part.
Little did I know when I woke up today that I was going to be interviewing 2 professional BMX riders.
Yes.
Lucky you,
instead of one. I mean, who knew? Yeah. Nige, talk to us about another one of your big sponsors, Nike.
Yeah.
You did something which to me, when I saw it, I was like, wow. And I've known you for a while now, and I was thinking, this is another level for you, like your own shoe. Talk about that.
Man.
Like, well, how'd that come about? What did it feel like? Like, that's an amazing.
I mean, being sponsored by Nike, you have to think about this now, dude, where as a child, for me growing up, like Nike was the thing, and it still is the thing. Like going like back to school shopping, you needed a pair of all white Air Force Ones. You couldn't go back to school in September without that. So Nike was my second sponsor, and I got sponsored by Nike. My second professional sponsor. I got sponsored by Nike. I think a month and a half after I got signed to Miracle Bikes.
Wow.
So it was like one of the craziest summers for me, like life-changing summer.
Right.
Like life completely changed forever at that point.
And how old are you when you signed the Nike deal?
18.
And did they come to you, or did you like?
Dude. Like seriously, like I can remember the day too. I was chilling in the crib, like mad hyped after getting sponsored by Miracle. Long day of riding, came home, and dude named Mark Losi, who I met a few months prior, he was the new team manager, and he called me like, I need to holler at you for a second. So I walked outside like I usually do and get any kind of important phone calls. And I was sitting across the street from my mom's house. I'm still living at home at that point. He's like, listen, we're trying to expand the program, and I want you to be the second dude signed to Nike. I was like, wow, no brainer, dude, of course. And at the time I was signed to another shoe brand, and they weren't treating me right. I had holes in my shoes because I ride with no brakes, so my shoes are getting beat up all the time. And honestly, bro, like a week and a half later, I had a box, like big box, like 8 pair of brand new Nikes, like at my doorstep, and they flew me out to LA a month after that. Wow. And I was like, oh, this is incredible, dude. So I've been on Nike since I was 18. I'm 27 now, so
wow,
it's been like 9 years. And like you said, I had my own like shoe come out with Nike, which was just, that's dream come true for me.
So you say your own shoe, like a shoe with your name on it?
Yeah, dude, like I had like
it's not a PE, your own colorway, your player exclusive. It's your shoe. It was Nigel Sylvester.
My shoe, like seeing like it was so crazy for me. Like I got this sample, dude, and I seen my signature inside that shoe, and I sat with it for a minute, like, yo, I can't believe what I'm holding in my hands right now. Like just in awe. Like needed to take a couple hours to sit there and just digest that, And
Were you involved in the like creative process of the shoe?
Oh yeah, I was involved in the whole process from beginning to end. They flew me out to Portland. We sat down, discussed what kind of materials I want to use, and then I came home and needed to do like another design session. So I sat down with the big homie Clark Kent. You know, if you're gonna do a shoe, who else?
What up, Clark?
Who else do you go to besides him? You know, and we went to the garment district, and we went from store to store looking for more fabrics. And the shoe started off in one place, but then with Clark's help, it went to another level, completely.
Clark's
the
OG, right? Clark's like that's his space. So.
That's what he does, you know. And it was a great experience, and the shoe came out. We sold out in a day, like across the nation.
Wow,
it's amazing.
Yeah, which is awesome. It was the first time like Nike SB did, which is Nike SB, Nike skateboarding, did a shoe with a BMX rider.
Wow.
You know, and it definitely like turned heads. Like wow, like.
Now talk to me a little bit about. You know, everything you've accomplished in such a short time. I think, you know, what I respect most from you is kind of you continue to push, you know what I'm saying? You continue to, you know, work hard and create and move your brand forward as well as the sport. Who do you kind of draw inspiration from? Who kind of challenges you to continue to grow and evolve and do different things? And not, you know, whether it's in the BMX world or outside of it, like who are you kind of looking up to for inspiration?
My family did. I come from a long line of hard workers. Like people in my family, like the work ethic is like second to none. And I grew up watching that my whole life. So that mixed with being a New York City kid, and New York City is, you can't be here and not feel like that hustle, like every single day, want to be on your ground, want to get it. I put those two things together, man. I continuously strive to just be better every single day. Like progression is number one on my list.
Yo, love it. What do you, any words or wisdom for, you know, any kids out there that are watching this or people that, you know, may feel like where they are today watching this and where they want to be, where you're sitting right now, any advice on how to get there? What kind of?
Just don't let them tell you no. Like that's one thing that's consistent in my career, that people always told me no, and I've always found a way around that. You know, that's why I'm even saying with you guys now. Like someone told me this 5 years ago, like no way. You know, but this is an honor, dude. You know.
I love it. Dope. You've obviously done a lot in your short. I mean, you're not 30 yet. In your short, young career, what are you excited for? Looking forward. What are you excited? What do you have coming up? What are you excited about? Projects or things you want to accomplish?
Got some projects with like my sponsors, of course. I have a big project coming up at the end of the year with Incase. Dope. That's gonna be super cool. And I'm just looking to really just get my ideas out there, man. Like I feel there's so much potential that people don't know the half of BMX. They haven't seen it, BMX riders such as myself, like take it to where I want to take it, you know, and like put my spin on it. Me being from New York and me wanting to just curate all the time. I'm just looking to just see those ideas through.
Dope, love it. Looking forward. I mean, you've obviously done some amazing shit in your short time. Looking forward to see what you come up with. Man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Anything in closing? Anything you want to tell your peoples watching you, whether they're little shorties looking up to you or sponsors or fans or whatever the case is? Anything you want to tell them?
Roll with the winners.
My brother, listen, I'm only dapping pro BMXers. Only dapping pro BMXers, man. Nigel Sylvester, pro BMXer. That should be an on RWTW TV. Peace.